welcome back to Evolve Artists Assignment 3. This is me painting a photo of a mushroom and a tennis ball and a cylinder, which is just a basic still life, as you can see. We start by tracing this black and white photo to get the lines on paper, and part of the skill that we're building here is deciding what lines to copy using our charcoal paper. And then after that, we fill in the shadows, extreme shadow, moderate shadow. And then finally, the most important part is we fill in the colors. So we have to mix different paints to get the exact hues that we need to paint these objects. Anyways, so actually, even though this is the third assignment in the Evolve program, I actually ended up doing this second because I didn't pay close enough attention to the homework tool, not homework tool, but the course website. Sometimes there are many weeks or many assignments where they don't really teach you anything new, and they just say, okay, just keep doing what you're doing, bye, kind of thing. And so you stop checking the website because you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing. But in block 3, they actually changed it up. I thought that we were going to copy all the photos, paint all the photos first that they gave us. They gave us 10 photos. And then the second half would be us choosing our own objects to set up still lives and things. But nope, they actually interleaved that. So we do one copy of a photo, then one original painting, and back and forth, so on and so forth, like that. So for this assignment, I decided to experiment with a few other things. Instead of using a palette that I have actually like multiple palettes, because when I bought my plastic palette thingy, it came with several other palettes. So you see this kind of round shaped one. I decided to just use that as, instead of swatching with a piece of paper, I just did the mixing right on top of the image. I put a little bit of saran wrap on top of the image so it wouldn't get dirty. But yeah, so I was trying different kinds of mixing styles. So in one, I was mixing on the gray palette paper taped underneath the palette to see if that was helpful, and just putting it right next to, as you can see, right next to the mushroom to see which pink worked best. And then for another one, I was, like you saw earlier, just mixing the paint directly on the palette, which is see-through, so you just put it right on top of the picture to see if you can match the color right. I don't know if that's cheating. Is that cheating? Sometimes it's cheating, sometimes it's scaffolding. So anyways, I just tried all kinds of things. I think this was the second painting that I did. So did I take notes? I think it wasn't until the third painting that I did that I got smart and started thinking about like being more systematic with the way that I mixed paints. And like, for example, doing a pink, instead of just mixing whatever I feel like, I start with white and then the first red, and then I mix white with a second red, and then white with a third red, and then see which one looks closest. And then from that one, add a little bit of whatever I need to add to see if I can get it even closer. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out my workflow is another learning curve. It's not just the painting itself, but also trying to figure out how to do it. There's a lot of workflow things with painting that I never anticipated until I actually had to do it, like cleaning up, setting up, and the color mixing strategies or system, that sort of thing. Anyways, so yeah, it was an interesting experience. I'm still learning, still trying to get the hang of this. The consistency of the colored paint is a lot different than that of the black, not black, but the shades that we were using, the shadow shades that we were using before. Some of the paints are really opaque. We're told that the kind of paint that we're using, it's Old Holland paint, so it's high quality. There's a lot of pigment in every square centimeter. So we're not supposed to like squeeze out too much pigment because it goes a long way. So we have to be really careful to just squeeze out. Kevin recommended 2/3 of a pea-sized, which sounds like very little, but it really does go a long way. The colors that I end up using the most of, though, are the lighter colors like white and Naples yellow, which explains the reason why when we were getting our colors, we got a gigantic tube of titanium white and then 2 regular sized tubes of Naples yellow, whereas we only got 1 tube of all the other colors. And then every color has its own different kind of consistency. Like crimson red it's very powerful, but it's a lot more watery feeling than the other paints. it's just kind of interesting, all the different shades. And then we don't use linseed oil quite the same way either, because when we were doing the black and white paintings, we put linseed oil into our shadow pigments. But when it comes to colors, we don't need to do that. The colors themselves have enough, what's it called? Not, there's a word for it, but they have enough oil so that you don't have to add more oil. But it is helpful to dip your brush in the oil sometimes to help clean it and stuff like that. Oh dear, there's like a motorcycle behind me. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyways, so that is assignment 3. And if there's anything else that I forgot to say, I think I will add that to the blog. Anyways, hope that was helpful or enjoyable, at least. And keep on creating and enjoying beautiful things. I'll see you in the next video.